Welcome, Trinity families, to our first table talk of this school year. A couple of years ago, we started Table Talk to share the stories of what is happening behind the scenes for our Trinity families. And so it's during these sessions where we'll interview administrators, parents, students, and really get a chance for you to get an inside look on what God is doing in the hearts and lives of our Trinity family. I want to take a moment and share with you that we had a very successful start to the school year. We had our Welcome to the Roar this past Friday night, where we were able to welcome all of our new families. And for the new families that are tuning into this session of Table Talk, we want to certainly welcome you. We're so glad that you are a part of the Trinity family. This past Monday night, we had a special evening where we were able to outline what the vision of Trinity is. We took a moment to just share how we're making an emphasis, all of our administrators really, we're making an emphasis on establishing a Christ-centered culture here at Trinity Christian School. Also, we wanted to take a look at maybe the data that we receive from an end of the year survey that we put out for all of our families. We had a lot of great responses, and the things that we were hearing from you were really critical to our mission. And you have shared with us that the thing that you see the most at Trinity is that we have great quality teachers, which we're really proud of here. We have a wonderful Christ-centered culture, which you have outlined that that's important to you, and you see it at Trinity, and that you appreciate the communication that you are receiving from our admin team and from our communications team. Now, there are also some areas that we felt like from the data that we could improve on, and we also received some questions from a good amount of parents. So out of all of the conversation, I want to just highlight maybe a couple of things that we learned from that night and from our surveys. The thing that we wanted to do was be able to share with you who our school board members were. We often announce who they are at a lot of our big events, but sometimes that is missed. You're going to notice on our website a list of our board members. That's coming really soon. We also heard from you that you wanted to have an opportunity to speak to the administrative staff, and so one of the things that we want to continue doing here at Trinity Christian School is to have our coffee with the principals, where there can be an opportunity for you to meet with your students, your children's principal, ask questions, hear their vision for the upcoming school year, and we're excited for that. Another thing that was interesting is, and we heard it from several of our parents, is what would it look like for us to have a community-wide worship service? And so we're in the beginning stages of taking a look at what that could look like. Maybe we could even have a worship night out at the stadium. Wouldn't that be a fantastic opportunity for all of us to gather together? Now, I wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from our key administrators here at Trinity Christian School. And I want to start off by introducing our admin team to you. And we have Mr. Bass, who is our assistant head of school. He carries with him a lot of experience here in the local community, and we are so blessed to have him. Our new high school principal is Mr. Wheeler. Our middle school principal is Adam Vinson, and our lower school principal is Sherry Randolph. Now, Mr. Bass, one of the questions I want to give to you is, one of the strong emphases for this year is to foster this sense of family and community. Can you share a little bit about what Trinity has in store for our community so that is really realized with all of our families?
Sure, Dr. Anthony. As you guys know, our year doesn't really start in August when we start back to school. We're planning the entire summer. As Dr. Anthony mentioned, we took this information that we received, and as we were meeting, he came up and he put a term out there that he wanted us to be intentional this year about how we went about fostering a climate where people are welcomed. And so this year, as we built our plans for improvement and for involvement, we wanted to create an atmosphere where our families would come and feel that they were belonging here at Trinity Christian School. We are planning several events. You've mentioned one, the new parent tailgate that we had that same night. Our booster club had a tailgate party, and we had our first home football game. The night with Dr. Anthony was an opportunity. We had over 200 people there where you shared the vision for Trinity Christian School. In September, we're going to have something that we want everyone to attend. It's our homecoming parade. It's going to be at Leroy Johnson Park. We'll have our worship team there. We'll have our cheerleaders. We'll have concessions. So that's another opportunity that our families can come to and feel like that they are belonging to that. October, we've got Fall Festival here. And it's going to start with, from our pre-K through our 8th grade, our parents can come and visit their classrooms. After they finish that, we'll have food concessions again so that when families come, they can have supper here on the grounds. And also we'll have inflatables. So it's a time so that they can come and feel like it's a family. In December, we have our Christmas extravaganza, and in January, we have our Grandparents' Day. So we planned events this entire year to have our Trinity families here so that we can make sure that they feel welcome, that they have the visibility of all of the administrators and our teachers. And if parents just want to talk, feel free to call us and we'll be glad to sit down and make time for that.
Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Bass. I've noticed a common denominator as you are working with your team. You've added the food element to all of these events, and that's really critical. One of the things I've learned is our families love to eat. So, Mr. Vinson, you've been here for how long now at Trinity Christian School?
This is my 15th year.
Can you just share a little bit of your journey on what brought you to Trinity, and then how long have you been the principal?
Yeah, so I'm also a pastor in town, and so the Lord was really impressing upon my heart to come to this area. I grew up in Fayetteville, was serving at another Christian school not too far from here, and really felt a calling to come and plant a church in the area, and also had heard a lot about Trinity and wanted to begin investing my life here. And so the Lord kind of had both of those things come together at the same time. And so in 2011, came and began teaching Bible classes here. And also was planting a church in town too. And I think it was in 2013, made the transition to being the principal, and have been doing that ever since.
Awesome. Well, I know this summer you've been working with your team for plans for the upcoming year. We're now almost a month into it, which is hard to believe. But can you just share with middle school parents, what are some of the key initiatives that your team is launching?
Yeah, so last year we really began to step back and take a look. And I've always appreciated the way you talk about the image bearing of God that our students have, and wanting to always cultivate the differences and the interest and the variety of gifts that the Lord has given to them. And so we wanted to step back and really evaluate our programming. What are some additional ways that we can provide for our kids to connect on a relational level, just building friendships, but then also how can we utilize some of their gifts and interests to bring glory to God? And so we're going to have our academic bowl team this year coming back. We've had it in the past and bringing it back this year. We've got 2 big competitions, one in the fall and one in the spring, where our kids will be competing in the academic realm. And so we're really excited about that. We also have a new video game club that has a lot of interest right now. We want to use that as a feeder program into our high school esports program. And so we're looking forward to having kids connect after school, playing video games together and just building relationships. And we're also looking to add 2 clubs that are going to be service project focused. So one of those is our junior beta club, We've never had that before. We've talked about it for years, and it's really coming together this year. We've got some teacher sponsorship that wants to get behind it, and so we're looking forward to adding Junior Beta Club. And then we're also partnering with one of our local Chick-fil-A stores to incorporate Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy at the middle school level. We've had that, I think, for several years at the high school, and now Chick-fil-A is piloting the middle school program, and so we're bringing that to our middle schoolers as well, so we're really excited about that too.
Awesome. And you have a couple of kids at the school. How many kids do you have at our school now?
Yeah, I've got 4 here now, and 1 that'll be coming in a couple of years too.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we are growing our school one Vinson at a time. Yeah. Well, the newest member of our team is Mr. Wheeler, and you just closed on a home here in our local community. Congratulations for that. We're so glad to have you. Before we share a little bit about maybe some of our plans in the high school, can you just kind of introduce yourself to our community? Tell us a little bit about your family.
Yeah, so I've been married for 22 years, and we have 2 sons, both in college, and you're right, it's been quite the journey to get here. But the Lord, the sweet Lord, our Jesus Christ, has just made a way for us. And just love God and love everything that He's doing. So our family are here. We're enjoying life and love the Trinity culture.
Great. Well, I know that you really started this past school year, and even though you were moving back and forth a little bit or traveling back and forth between Texas and Georgia, you've really been working with your admin team, your leadership team on some new initiatives, some emphases for the upcoming year. Can you give us a little idea of what our high school families should expect from high school this year?
Yeah, great question. So there's 3 areas that I really want to focus on. Number 1, you hit it right from the start, and that is creating a Christ-centered culture. We did that right from the start, really carrying on with what has already been established here at Trinity. Christ-centered culture, we really believe that Christ should be at the center of all things. All of our interactions with parents, with faculty, with administrators, in instruction, as we teach, and all of that. I mean, it's so important to put God right in the middle of everything. And so we are being intentional. You heard Mr. Bass talk about that, being intentional about putting God right in the middle of all things that we do. Even when we make tough decisions, we really rely on the Lord to just really focus and really guide us in our direction and order our footsteps in any decision that we make. The second is assuring that we have academic rigor. All throughout every single class, we want to make sure that our class, we're challenging our students. No one gets an easy road here at Trinity. Trinity is challenging from an academic perspective, but we want to make sure that we have the right class at the right time for the right moment, and we see that through our vertical alignment as it starts in elementary, moves to middle school and then ends up in high school. We are all vertically aligned with our education and what we are teaching in every subject. And it is challenging, but yet we are available. All of our teachers do a great job of making themselves available. And we want to make sure that we have a high participation rate in terms of whether or not our students attend college after high school, whether or not they go into ministry, or they really start their vocation. Their job searches, and so we make sure that we have a plan for each area through preparing them and equipping them from a rigorous standpoint. And the third is partnership with our parents. We believe that parents are not spectators. They're our teammates when it comes to academic growth and spiritual growth. We want to involve our parents in every aspect, in everything that we do. And so we have an open door. You heard Mr. Bass talk about that open door. It remains open. And sometimes it remains open for 24 hours a day. But we want to make sure that we have a partnership with our parents and invite them in everything that we do.
All of us have multiple kids in our own home, and we see that even with our own kids, they learn differently and they have different plans for the future. And I think at Trinity, it's just kind of a reminder for us that if we truly value the Imago Dei, the image of God in each one of the students, I think it's our job to kind of come alongside them and create a pathway for them to be successful in whatever direction the Lord calls them to, right? And so finally with our lower elementary, Sherry Randolph has been here for a couple of years now. Mrs. Randolph, can you give us just a background? How long you've been here? How did you happen to come to Trinity?
Sure. So I've been here 19 years. This is my 19th year on staff. But as a family, we've been here for 22, 23. My oldest is 25, and he started here when he was 3 years old. I have 4 kids, and they've all started at Trinity's preschool program. 2 have graduated, and then 2 are currently in our high school.
In fact, I think your oldest, there's some pictures of him with my middle school daughter when they were
In preschool.
my middle daughter, not middle school daughter, but middle daughter. Yeah, they were in preschool together and having a great time together. We have a lot of memories of our children being together throughout these years. Well, when you talk about the foundations we put in play for our children, all of our students, we look at all of our students at Trinity as kind of our own, don't we? And we want them to learn some educational skills, and we want them to be proficient. And when you look at elementary, we do want them to learn how to read and to write and develop those skills. But we also know that that's a real formational time spiritually. So can you give us an idea of what it looks like from a spiritual perspective? What kind of investments are we making in our kids in our lower school?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're starting off in the classroom every day. And so everything we do, weaving that biblical worldview into our curriculum, starting our day off with Bible and prayer every day. And so those are kind of the standard things that we do, right? Teaching character throughout the day. But I'm really excited about some of the things that we are adding this year that will be a bit different. But before I tell you that, I do have to give a shout out to our 3rd grade worship team. So our 3rd graders are considered to be the leaders of our lower school. And so we want to give them leadership type opportunities. And so we have a 3rd grade worship team, and we had over 50 3rd graders sign up to lead worship for our chapels. And they lead each week with such heart and joy, and it really is an excellent way for them to serve our student body as well. And that leads me into the next thing that we're doing, which are service projects this year. So we've done things before like food collections and opportunities like that, but this year we want each grade, even from our littles, from 3 all the way up, to have specific hands-on opportunities to serve. So we're going to focus on service opportunities within our school community, but then also our community at large and how to help those who are in need in our community. So we're really excited about getting that started this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and really teach our students how to live a life of service, even at a young age. We're going to have a spiritual emphasis week in February, which will be a dedicated chapel time each day of that week. And we're going to study a series called Listen Up. And it's really about teaching our young ones how to listen to the right voices, because there's so many voices in this world. What are the right voices to listen to? How to identify God's voice? Yes, God can speak to children, right? How to identify God's voice in their life? How to know which voices to tune into, which ones not to, and then how to be a positive voice for others as well. So another thing that I'm doing this year is a principal's challenge for our 3rd graders. Again, I refer to them as the leaders of our lower school before they move on to Mr. Vinson's division in upper elementary. We're going to start a principal's challenge, which is really about hiding God's word in their heart. So we're going to be releasing those details soon as well. We're excited about that.
Well, it sounds like we have a big job before us in this coming year. To all of our Trinity families, I just want you to know that we count it an absolute privilege to come alongside you and serve your children. And it is certainly an incredible opportunity for each of us to invest in this emerging generation so that we can see these children raised to be solid citizens in our community as Christ followers, understanding the call of God upon their life. So join us in prayer. We need your prayers. We need your help. And we just ask that you would join us as we serve the Lord at Trinity Christian School. God bless you. We're believing God for a great year.